It's RMR.
Welcome back to the second hour of the show, ladies and gents. You are listening to House Grooves right here on Rhodes Music Radio 89.7, broadcasting live in Makanda, which is located in the Eastern Cape. And in the second hour, I did promise you an incredible interview with an amazing music producer. I know the first track by this man that impressed me, and I believe I was late already, was Sweet Temptation. Yo, man, that song is such a beautiful song. And we have him on the line. Welcome on the line, Slotta.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, my man. Thank you so much, broski.
You know, in as much as I've introduced you as an incredible producer, but now is the time for you to fix where I've messed up. Maybe I'm misrepresenting you, you know. Who would you say is Slotta?
Slotta. It's just a lad, man, born and bred in the kingdom of Eswatini, who fell in love with music from a very, very, very tender age. Started off as a vocalist, turned into a songwriter, until I eventually, started tapping into music production. But the thing about me is that I'm a creative in nature, basically. So if anything, if ever something intrigues me, I just put my energy and all into it. So that's why I do so much. I'm also a photographer, voiceover artist. Yeah, man. So I'm just an all-round creative, basically. That's how I can put it.
Wow, man. I have one question for you, man, and it's relating to your sound. How would you describe your sound? Because I'm hearing these nice soulful chords. They just touch you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And then there's that signature saxophone, like, how would you describe your sound, brother, man?
I would say emotional.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My emotional sound, basically, because I create my music from an emotional place. So it's never a case of, what's trending, let me just go with the vibes type of situation. No, for me, it's a case of what am I feeling right here, right now? And then I just translate that into the music, whether I am going through the most, whether I am excited, whether I am happy, or just mellow. So that's how I then translate everything into music, basically. And what comes out is these lush sounds that you hear.
Wow, man. So let's talk about this EP you dropped, Bonusness, Ray, which you dropped under Deeper Shades Recordings. Tell us
Yes,
about
sir.
that, man.
Well, basically, that is like the culmination of a series of EPs that I've been dropping on Deeper Shades. So since last year in September, I had so much music just waiting, basically. So instead of dropping an album, I looked at how people are consuming music these days, and I was thinking to myself, if I drop these 16 tracks all at once, people are just going to maybe pick 2 nyana or 4 and then go with that, and then all the other ones just kind of go under the radar. So in this case, what I simply did was like, let's just split this into a series of EPs, which worked out fine because as I was just thinking while creating, basically, it fits the occasion because we were going through the most in COVID, and this music would be a ray of sunshine to these dark moments that we were going through, basically. So, yeah, man. So they based on the sun when you look at it from morning, noon to evening, basically. Even the colors of the artwork is a subtle, let me say, signature of when or how you can listen to the music, basically.
And how's the response being, man? The EP is so incredible, such beautiful music in there. How's the response being from people, considering that you've also been strategic, about releasing your music?
Yeah, man. No, it's been crazy, honestly speaking. Because if one thing for me, I always appreciate when lives are touched rather than trending, basically. So for me, it's a case of if someone can reach out to you in a personal space and be like, my guy, thank you so much. This is what I needed. And not just from a grooving perspective, but from an emotional place where I was going through something, and this now has become my anthem or my call to feeling better. When something touches me, basically, you are now my go-to place for that reason, Yes, sir.
Well, you mentioned something very interesting about people not being able to consume an album like before, taking the time to
Mm,
listen to the message. And I have a
yes.
question, considering that a track by
Yeah.
Slotta is typically about 7 all the way to 9 minutes. How do you feel about that? How you think the people are dwelling into your way of arrangement? I know you are one of those people when it comes to arrangement, you take your time and you introduce
Yes, sir.
elements nicely. So,
Definitely. Funny enough, someone once spoke of that and was like, I actually don't notice how long these songs are. Like Valley So Green, for example, was 12 minutes, and no one really noticed up until, we just put it into perspective that, do you know how long that song is, bro? Have you just seen how long it takes to finish? But because of the emotion that it carries and where it takes you, for you it just becomes a split second of like, oh, the song is done. Then you restart it just like that. So due to the heaviness of the emotion and that presence, and when you are one with the music, you hardly feel the length of it, honestly speaking.
wow, there definitely has to be either something or someone that inspires this great music. Who are your inspirations, man, or what inspires you to make this great music?
As cliche as it may be, I would say life
Wow,
inspires
wow,
me and
wow.
the relationships that I have with people because, you draw inspiration from other people's experiences, the conversations that you share on a daily. And I think I'm one person that probably has the trust of a lot of people within my circle to a point where I'm like, yeah, no, this definitely deserves a song. This person feels this way. I understand them. So let me just try work around this feeling and try see what I come up with. So in essence, some of these songs are more psychological healers, if I can put it like that, for specific people. But of course, knowing that overall, this is a general feeling that anyone can experience, an emotion that anyone can carry at a particular time in their life. So life in itself is an inspiration, man, because when you wake up in the morning, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're going to experience. You don't know who you're going to meet. So that in itself always leaves one with an open mind of like, I can't wait for what's coming today.
I've never been to Eswatini, and I know that it's a super incredible country. I wish to come there.
Yeah.
Definitely, you are one of my favorite producers from there, as well as Sooks. And I know there's a whole
Yes,
lot
sir.
more, but
Definitely,
I'm able
definitely.
to only mention two, and which leads me to my next question. How is the scene in Swaziland, the house music scene? I know there's some of those big events like is it the bushfire now, where you guys are able to get
Yes.
the opportunity to share yourselves.
Yeah.
How's the house
Definitely,
music
definitely.
scene in Eswatini in terms of radio, in terms of the clubs and events?
Well, I'll say it's alive in there, truthfully said, in particular clubs, if I can put it like that. As you know, my piano is like taken over,
Wow.
pretty much all over the place, in essence. But we ourselves try to curate events that focus on deep house and different other genres, basically, that carry weight, because not everyone wants to be rocking the lock drum during the day,
Yeah.
so to speak. Even in the evening. So basically, I'm always trying to tell people to sort of like segment their target audience on a weekly basis. To know that if you're open from Thursday until Sunday, for example, you can't tell me that you'll be playing the piano from Thursday till Sunday. You check.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, leave the Sundays to deep house, man. Sundays are for lovers. Let's chill and play good vibes. During the day we can do the deep house, and then in the evening you carry on with those other vibes, basically. But the scene, though, is alive and well. The production is crazy. There's a lot of cats within the underground scene. It's just that I really wish they did a little more to sort of like put themselves out there with regards to pushing and visibility. That is only the thing that is missing in essence. Otherwise, there's a lot of guys that are pushing, man. And I'm always trying to encourage people to put their music out by any means necessary. Don't just create beautiful music and keep it in your bedroom and listen to it and vibe to it alone. This thing of exclusives, it's good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you do your exclusives, you push them to people, but it does you no good if no one can get your music anywhere.
Wow.
So we dance to it in the club, and people are frustrated. I'm like, this song is a banger, but I don't know who did it or where I can get it. Check.
That's a very big debate currently, man. The issue of exclusives, accessibility of music, that's a very big one. Are you also doing the direct purchases method?
Nope. Because I'm a firm believer in the music is for the people, not a person.
Wow.
So it's unfair for you to want to low key, let me say, build your ego with having this one tune that deserves to be heard by the world, and yet you're only going to play it for, let me say, a finite number of people within your target audience, basically. Exactly. So that's why we create the music. If I prefer to play it on a particular set of mine just to test it out, and people like it, even better. Then you make it accessible to people so that everyone gets to enjoy it the same way that that particular audience enjoyed it.
Wow, man. Basically, this interview has the potential to reach a young Slotta out there, Eswatini, or in
Yes,
South
sir.
Africa, or in Germany, in the US. What would you say
Exactly.
to a young Slotta out there who's trying to make it in the scene, number one, or, who's just starting out?
Yes, sir. I would say, most importantly, follow your heart. It's easy to get lost in the trends. It's easy to change your sound. I'm not saying don't experiment. It's very important to experiment. I, for one, I do more than one genre, actually. Most people know me in deep house, but I do hip-hop, I do R&B,
Wow.
I do some neo-soul here and there. So the different influences in my music feeds into this final product that I create. Because if someone listens really carefully, they can pick all these elements, like there's a bit of jazz here. There's like an R&B element that you're stuck in. So follow your heart, regardless of what is happening in the market. So also be open to adapting. Adapting doesn't necessarily mean change your sound entirely or change your brand or image altogether, but just adapt by including certain sounds in your music, basically creating hybrids of the sound that you do, so people kind of appreciate you for your diversity and your experimentiveness, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, there's only 2 months of this year left, which means a new year's coming. More time for you
Yeah.
to work, more time for you to give us music. But in this last 2
Trust.
months, or rather in the future, what can we expect from you? What's happening, gigs, other interviews or tours, what could be happening, mixes, what can we expect from you?
Well, honestly, there's a lot because I'm stuck in studio these days. So I'm just working with various artists basically to sort of like also bring them to the fro so that they also get their time to shine in essence. But there's definitely new music coming through because one of my hard drives that I thought was dead from way, way, way back suddenly came to life.
Wow.
And it had projects in there
Yeah.
from way back in 2013. Yeah, there's some stuff that has just been chilling there. So, man, I'll just update that. And who knows, maybe an album just for the fun of it, man.
Wow.
Just to tick something off the box.
Yeah. And where can people find you, man? On the socials, bookings. Where can people find you?
On my socials, basically, you just look for Slotta_NSD on Instagram, Slotta_NSD on Twitter. There's my Facebook page, Slotta or Slottaness. You're going to find me there, basically. That's how you keep track of the music that I do, the material that I do. Also, my contact details with regards to emails are also there in case people want to reach out into a more personal space, basically. And yeah, we have a chat and we talk about music and all things nice.
Brother, man, may you continue to give us this incredible music. Certainly, we love it, man, here on the show. You are welcome for any other new music that you have. Just update us. We'll rock it here on the show. You have my contacts, brother, man. This is your home.
Yes.
This is the part where you get to show us and show the world that, oh man, this is Slotta and this is what he's made of. And I need to say thank you for not holding back the music exclusively to you and a few other people by giving it to us. We really, really appreciate
sir.
that, man. From myself and
Thank
the
you so
rest
much,
of
man.
the Rhodes Music Radio team, we wish you all the best, in terms of music and just your personal life, your heart's
Yes,
desires.
sir.
May you please enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Amen to that, my man. Thank you so very much. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share my own message and basically to be able to share my music with the world. And thank you for opening this opportunity for us producers, even from the international markets, to be able basically to converse with you guys and just, get a feel of what's out there basically and share the good message of music. So blessings all around, blessings all around. Trust, music will be pushed your way.
Definitely,
All
brother
the
man.
genres that I create.
I'll be waiting for that. I'll be waiting for that. If it's not house, I'll make sure that I plug it to the other shows. Okay.
Exactly.
Sure. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Slotta from Eswatini. Super incredible producer. I'm going to wrap this one up with a single, or rather a song taken from the EP Bonusness. And this one is called Sanctified. I hope you're going to enjoy this one. And we really, really appreciate having Slotta on the show. Check out his music, man. Super, super incredible producer right here.